To the stand-up for Trident. This is April the 13th. It's 13th week. We got the green light presentation next week, as well as we're apparently going to be showing off all the green light projects at SIP on Tuesday. So we'll have to do that as well, I guess. I don't think anybody in here is using Trident as their SIP. But I guess we'll show it off there anyway, because we were told to. It's as good a reason as any. So, as usual, go around and talk about what you've worked on since we've last met, what you're going to be working on today. If there's anything that you need to coordinate with another member of the team. Just as a reminder, our major focus over this sprint is going to be updating the character sheets, getting the strategic and battle map stuff all finished out, and then hopefully we can do some last minute quality of life adjustments for the actual text, as well as doing a bit of graphic design to get elements separated on the page and make the entire document look a little nicer. So, James, why don't you start us off?
I'm working on the Trident robots, and I talked with Molly and got the basic body, general shape of it is okay. I need to go back and work on the joints connecting pieces, and that's what I'm going to be doing today.
I'm working on the maps, and more maps, and more maps. I'm going to try and get those finished today, so that way we can have them for next week.
So I've been working on updating the equipment that Frank has been putting into the game, been separating it into generations based on the playtest that we had last week, because some of that stuff that's available like early on was like really way too powerful. So I've been working on separating that, making a kind of limit to when they can get it. Yeah, we'll be continuing working on that.
I created some strategy guides for the Leviathans, the Tridents, and the conventional units, and that should be in the design folder in the Google Drive. I think I figured out how to get it in there now.
I continue to work on the dice roller. I managed to find some free models of different types of dice on TurboSquid, where I learned that I apparently have an account that I don't remember setting up. So there's now 4-sided dice, 6-sided dice, 8-sided dice, 10-sided, 12, 20. And thankfully they came with free PNG, so I didn't have to figure out how to put numbers on them. And I've managed to get it to where you can now select what type of dice you want, how many, but those are there. And now I'm working on you being able to set the number you have to roll higher for it to count as this success. And that's what I'll be doing today.
John?
Yes, I'm actually working on something I've been discussing with Molly. She wanted me to rework the control arm for the actual holographic projector on the table. She gave me this insight here and she preferred that I didn't use the cylindrical joints that I have here to make them look more like this, where it's a straight one-way motion instead of the circular. I've been going through, coming up with some concepts on doing that, so this arm would actually slide out of this other one here on a pivot right in here, where it would come up and rotate up around the top of the table. So that's some concepts that I've been working on to try to come up with ideas that fit Molly's desire for it, or guides for it.
Another camera view is just the back of Donald's head.
Hello, my name is Michael Shepard, programmer for Trident, and the last time I got a shop and everything like that implemented for items, and so that way things can actually like go into the player's inventory from client side. Nothing has to be added to their inventory from PlayFab itself. So like PlayFab items were already there, so now we have it working 100% with client. I'm going to get that fully optimized today, and after that I'm going to move on to some smaller things, so that way some things that are smaller will be easier to do, like leaderboards and automation, so that way those are small things that will like make it look a little better when we do a green light pitch or whatever the next stand-up is.
I've been going through and looking at, basically blocking out all the different types of information we have in the document. So, rules, places where we would just put images, places where we would have little like in-game lore bits on the sidebar, where we would need examples of play. And I've been creating kind of an outline for what the final document should look like with all those elements, which we can then turn into a list that will have all of the different graphical elements we'll need. We'll see if we get to that this semester. If not, it's not really a big deal. And I've also been looking at the distribution we have for conventional units with the new fleet token arrangement, and I've been running some numbers trying to see. It seemed like in the playtest we had too many conventional units per fleet. So I've been running the numbers, seeing likely usage scenarios for those, what they're going to be doing at different levels with the Leviathan and Tridents, trying to figure out what the sweet spot is for having enough that they'll be a useful tool and that you might actually have them survive all the way to the end, but not have so few that they might as well not even be there. So that's kind of what I've been working on, probably what I'll continue to work on today, is trying to figure out where that sweet spot exactly is. And I think that wraps up everything. Again, we just need to rework character sheets. We need the rest of the battle maps, as well as probably do another pass on the strategic map. We might move away from the hex grid and do a different format for it, but I'm not 100% sure. The problem with the hex grid was people kept thinking you would move the Leviathans and the Tridents around on the map, per hex. So we might just hide the actual hex grid and keep everything else roughly about how it is. And then we just have to throw in some area shade adjustments, so that we okay, everything within this area, if it's within this first shade, then it's a D6, within this second shade, it's a D8, 10, and so forth. But we'd have to see how busy that would be with the already existing overlapping of the different colors for the area's responsibility. Might also be a better way to do that might also be just having the die class for response time label on each planet instead of trying to do it with some sort of color or something like that. But those are going to be those are things we're going to have to throw down on the page, see how they look, and see what's going to be best. But I think that's pretty much it for the stand-up.